even on the offensive side, developing the run, because you can't open the run. You see what we had last season with that mess. No pass, no run game. You need a line before you need to start trying to move up for those flashy wide receivers.
I mean, we do lose some, people retiring, but we have made a lot of improvements, and I think we're going to do pretty good this year. Championship.
I like the sound of that.
Are you listening?
Ooh, I feel especially juiced right now. Spring is in the air. The boys of summer have hit the diamond. And before they get to the playoffs and the World Series, our guys will have climbed back out on that field to take care of some unfinished business. And the coaches are legally able to get together with the players this week, and they have. And no matter where you are, the draft is but 3 weeks away. Oh, and the mock drafts, have you been watching those? Every day they're shifting. Today you see players you like. Tomorrow you see players you don't really particularly care for. But what it's going to come down to is what is the draft ninja going to do? Each and every year, Trent comes in. Nobody has any idea as to what he's going to do. That's his style. You wish, though, maybe Trent would just lean in your direction of thinking. Some of us want a sparkly wide receiver. We even know which one we want. By name. Cornerbacks. Because many of us still believe our secondary is questionable. But Trent, the old gunfighter, he knows. The war is won by the battle in the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line. If your offensive line is strong, Cap and the skill players will operate in high capacity. If your defensive line is strong and intimidating, menacing the opposition's offensive, we will put anybody in the secondary and do just fine. It's all about the beefcakes and what they do that's going to determine.
You heard what Mike Florio of CBS Sports Talk Radio said about Cap?
No. What did he say?
Fool was going on about how the Niners, wanting to see Cap get better, had him working with Kurt Warner and others, hoping to improve on his throwing mechanics and technique. But you know all about that.
Yeah.
But then the fool got nasty.
No, he didn't.
Question after our boy gets under center, would any of what he has learned translate to better play? You know what he said about that, don't you?
What did he say?
He said, 49er fans need not set themselves up for disappointment. Ronbo, I heard CBS radio for the last time. I was never crazy about them anyway. I'm out of here. Anyway, I'll meet you down at the coffee shop. And it's your turn to buy, too. Don't you be late.
I won't. 49er fans, you realize you're going to have to thicken your skin. The uncertainty surrounding Colin Kaepernick is going to follow us right into the season. When you see a hater, stand up to him. Don't get mad. Colin is going to deal with the haters from the first game, I can assure you. Right now, I've got somebody for you to meet. He's down in Arizona. It's Patrick the Viking. Let's go check him out. I love talking to people. And Patrick, I think you're about the 4th guy or 5th guy in Arizona that refuses to root for the Cards and does like the 49ers. It's all about the red, but Patrick is wearing a 49er red.
Always.
Welcome, bro. So glad to meet you. Well, let's just go ahead and start out with asking you this. Kaepernick. The man's been in camp 10 weeks, and you know this is going to draw a lot of attention at some point during the course of the season if things go south right from the beginning. What can we expect, are you thinking, from all reports we're hearing, and most of them are negative, a couple of things that they said he's done all right, but I've been hearing as recently as yesterday, a nasty report about Colin Kaepernick. Bro, your thoughts on that?
I missed that latest report. I've been hearing good things. Kurt Warner spoke pretty highly of him, and he was out here in Arizona training, and I know he's up early training, hitting the weights. I had a few friends see him in the gym. So I know he's getting his head right. I think that's the point because he's already as athletic as he's going to kind of be. I think him developing his mentality, he's still pretty fresh, I think. He's got a lot of games under his belt, and it's just developing that mentality and seeing the field, in the best way he can.
I like that. And you know what? As a matter of fact, the reports I'm talking about are coming from a lot of analysts. And you know how analysts are. They're out there trying to make news. So what do? You go after the 49er fan base and stir up a controversy, and of course it works.
Yeah.
Let them talk. All right. Now, Trent, this is every year. Trent holds those cards close to his chest. Nobody knows what he's going to do. There's a lot of speculation. Who would you like to see Trent pick up?
I really think that he needs to look at the line on the offense and the defensive side. Because if you look at our defense, we've got Smith, and we don't really know what to expect from Dockett coming over. But they're both older guys, and getting that line fresh, keeping it young, bringing in new talent. I think that's key to, even on the offensive side, developing the run. Because you can't open the run. You see what we had last season with that mess. No pass, no run game. You need a line before you just start trying to move up for those flashy wide receivers, in my opinion.
Jarryd Hayne. I got a feeling Jarryd probably has a good idea about American football is by now. But can you imagine his first day out there? I'm thinking, this is a question brought up to me online as well. Is Jarryd Hayne going to get the welcome to America treatment on the first day of practice? Are the coaches going to instruct those guys to take it easy? Don't go macho on me. Let's teach this guy to play football first. What are you expecting out of Jarryd Hayne?
I hope, the later of establishing some fundamentals and going with the safe route. But I have a feeling about, you always hear those rugby guys talk about, how tough they are. They don't play with pads. So he might, I don't know too much about the guy personally, but just knowing off that, Australia and all the hype train behind it, it's just going to be interesting to see regardless if it's just kind of one of those things we hear about and maybe it'll fade away. We won't hear about it again, but, it could work.
Because, in fact, with Trent doing the things he's been doing, I had already forgotten about Jarryd until I just thought about it the other day. I said, Jarryd Hayne. And somebody says, are we going to hit him hard and teach him American-style football? We're going to bring him along gently? Or what are we going to do? I'm hoping Tom Sula, as far as my opinion on that is, take it easy. Let him learn the game. We don't need any torn ACL in practice. Let's get him out there first.
Definitely.
You've heard the rumor, right? Amari Cooper. They're trading up to go for Amari Cooper. Now, when I first heard this rumor, it made, okay, they're going to have rumor after rumor every other day. But this one seems to be growing legs. More and more people are talking about it. And when that happens, you wonder what? But Amari Cooper, can we use him in this offense?
I think it would be good, establishing those wide receiver problems. But you just look at the price, how far would we have to move up? What would we have to give, to move up to about that 5th or 6th spot if he lasts that long? And that's kind of what I'd worry about the most is giving up, before you're establishing what you really need to work from that. Like we talked about the linemen, that's kind of a need where, a flashy wide receiver,
It almost like a moot point, right? If you're not going to have anybody to protect Kaepernick, wide receivers aren't going to make any difference anyway.
Exactly.
And on that same note, we just picked up Torrey Smith and some others. I understand from what I'm hearing about Jerome Simpson, though, that may have been a foolish pickup. As I understand, we've already got enough personnel that's just as good as he is, and they paid him a 2-year contract, and the guy's got baggage. But with that in mind, what do you think about Trent's pickups so far?
I really like Torrey Smith coming over, especially him and Boldin have obviously played together, won a Super Bowl together. That's good to have on the field, especially if you're trying to bring in younger guys. You have a little bit, got some veterans with some knowledge under their belt as well as the experience. But I'm really most excited to see how Dockett turns out. I think he's probably one of the most exciting free agents. He didn't play last year for the injury, but coming from Arizona to here, it would be awesome to see him tear him up. I'm gonna get a jersey. I'm gonna wear it to the game next, the home game here in Arizona. So that's what I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
Have you endured any like heckling fans who, dude, you realize where you are type of thing?
Yeah, I get it from my family, and but at the games, I'm a pretty big guy, so I don't deal with it too much. But I know it does get pretty crazy, especially even just going to the bar to watch the game while the Cardinals fans are watching their games. It gets kind of wild, but it's not too bad. It's not a Seattle type situation quite yet.
Oh, that's a word that actually, burnt my ear with that word. Hawks. Anyway, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Well, and tomorrow, Michael Crabtree's on his way to Oakland. Can you imagine? This brings up one other point. There is no real serious bond or allegiance to players when it comes to the money. If Crabtree becomes an Oakland Raider, how is that going to affect you?
Honestly, I've kind of been waiting. I was a guy who was kind of high on Crabtree when he came around, and to me personally, I feel like he's really underperformed due to his injuries, and I wouldn't really mind seeing him go anywhere as long as that it kind of left us room and opened up the space. If he wants to go to Oakland and make them, Oakland, then that's fine by me.
Go, Mike. We'll find out about that later. Now, the front office so far has done things in a manner that really are hard to understand most of the time. Do you have any opinions about how it's being handled in the front office? Jed, Trent, although Trent seems to be becoming, in my opinion, a little more of a guy that I'm starting to respect a little bit more. But what are your feelings on the front office?
Yeah, that Harbaugh situation was pretty ugly. I don't think anyone liked seeing how that went down. And here comes Tom Sula, a guy we really don't know a whole lot about. I've been trying to look into him. He seems like a pretty stand-up guy, more of a players type coach, but without the experience, it's hard to really put a whole lot of trust. You just got to be faithful, see what happens at the end of the day.
That we do. It's a stressful thing. Got any predictions? Are we going to the playoffs?
I think making the playoffs is predictable looking at our schedule. It's not too bad. We got a few tough road games, but Green Bay coming in, I think we always, Kaepernick does very well against Green Bay. It's going to be a home game. That's one we always got to worry about the Seahawks. I think the Cardinals go back down below us, the Rams. So it's really about closing out the games we need to win, fighting hard on the road, and I think we could easily probably make it in the wild card, make a playoff. I'm not just keeping the hope, keeping the faith alive.
I like that. I'm in full agreement with you. Although the thing about the Cardinals, I really don't know what to expect from the Cardinals, but you anticipate we will finish in front of them, do you?
I do. I thought we could have last year. I mean, that home game here in Arizona, we could have easily, that game could have went, a different way. We lost bad games on the stretch, but I don't see the Cardinals repeating the success they did from last year. That QB situation really ate them up, and they're the Cardinals. I've been here. I'm an Arizona guy, so I know their track record. I don't see them finishing like they did last year. I think we'll be able to close them out.
Yeah, I like that. You gotta give me the Niner yell.
Niners!
Yes. From the Carolinas, I met a 49er fan. He goes by the name of JTJ. He'll tell you his name if he wants to. JT, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, Ron. I'm good, man.
Tell you, man,
How about yourself?
I'm just fabulous, man. You know what? But I do have a bone to pick. As you know, I am not happy with the fact that the power rankings are currently saying that we are destined for the basement of the NFC West. I do not understand this thinking. I do not understand how we warrant this kind of thinking. They don't know nothing about us. Please help me to understand. How in the world, knowing nothing about us, are we supposed to be finishing last?
Man, I don't know why in the world would they say that. I mean, us winning so many games last year does not actually, say that much, saying that we will not have a winning season this coming year. I mean, we do lose some, people retiring, but we have made a lot of improvements, and I think we're going to do pretty good this year. Championship.
I like the sound of that. And what do you think about Carlos Hyde, Kendall Hunter in the backfield? And that's going to be a 3-back system, right? So Carlos Hyde going to be the workhorse. Kendall Hunter, I'm worried that Reggie Bush is going to come in and take his job completely. So at some point in the season, I'm thinking that it's going to be a Carlos Hyde, Reggie Bush tandem with Kendall Hunter spending another year on the bench. Kendall, man, if you're watching, man, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Reggie Bush, he might take Kendall's place, but Kendall's pretty good. He's a pretty good ball player. I see him still having some kind of active force in the team this year. With that being said, Carlos Hyde, I think he's going to be the next workhorse. I think he's got some big things coming, man.
Jay, do you remember Kendall Hunter at all before he got drafted? I know he's fast, But is he an
He's
inside,
a pass son of a
outside?
gun.
He is good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
Can he catch passes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he can catch passes pretty good now.
Yeah.
Everybody that makes it to the NFL, they make it to the NFL for a reason. They're good enough to get there.
We added Torrey Smith. Now
Yes,
we
sir.
got the deep threat, bruh. And I see now, the defense now has to respect the run, and they've got to respect Torrey Smith. You gonna tell me that's not gonna open up the offense?
Oh, yes, man. I mean, I see him and Anquan Boldin working together, and that's going to get Vernon Davis, man. He's just going to be wide open, man. Because they ain't going to be able to cover all three of them. Ain't no way. Somebody's going to be open all the time.
And you
And
add
if
to
not, you know, Cap's going to have to run.
And see, there you go right there. The bottom line is Cap can now get away. We lost Ayupati. Okay, Brandon Marshall, the rookie sensation, is now healed up. He's coming in, and he may be a little more athletic even than Ayupati. How many yards you see?
So I say 1,000 guaranteed. I mean, I can see more than that. But, hey, I dare say 15 touchdowns, man.
You got 15?
He's going to run them in.
All right. Who would you have Trent pick up in the draft if it's up to you?
And that's going to be Beckham. I mean, most definitely. But, you know, he's going to go first round. Gone. We ain't going to be able to get him.
DGB may not go early in the first round because of his off-field issues.
Off-field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Did we get better? Let's compare players. We lose Michael Crabtree. We pick up Torrey Smith. Is that a plus or a minus?
It's almost the same, but Torrey Smith, he's already going to have that on-field chemistry with Anquan Boldin because they had played together. And Michael Crabtree, he's pretty good, but last season, man, yeah, just wasn't on point. But I think it's going to be a plus, and I think he's going to be pretty good, man.
I got to have a prediction. Are we going to the playoffs this year? And be serious. You're not just for the fans, but from your heart. Are we going to the playoffs?
Oh, yes. I mean, like I said, man, I don't know why everybody's putting this down right now, man. Just because we lost a few players doesn't mean it's a bad offseason. I mean, we gained a lot. We have gained a lot, man. And I'm saying we're going to win at least 12 games, man.
I like that prediction. It's even better than mine.
Oh, yeah. I'm going with 12, man. I'm going with 12.
I
don't see why we wouldn't win 12.
That means we go to the playoffs, and you know if Colin Kaepernick sees the Green Bay Packers, you know what that means, don't you? You realize Colin has not lost to Aaron. He hasn't lost to Aaron Rodgers one time yet.
He's got his number, man. That's as long as he runs, man. If he doesn't run this time around going against him, then it might be a different story. But he has to go back to the old Colin Kaepernick, where we're used to knowing, and running the ball. And get rid of the ball, man. I hope Kurt Warner actually showed him and taught him a few things, and he gets rid of the ball and not hold on to it. Because all them sacks, man, he's going to hurt himself.
And he hurts the team, too. Because every time he does that, we're now second and long. Not just long, but long. And from that, I do believe, though, from just what you just mentioned about Colin going to school this offseason, I think he picked up a few things he's going to be able to help, including how to throw a touch pass. This, to me, was one of his biggest problems. If he can now put a little touch on that pass, when he's got Boldin and Smith, remember these two guys worked together to beat us in the Super Bowl. So if he can find a way to put touch on those passes, he's already got a championship tandem. All he's got to do is put it together.
I think so, man. We good, man. We need to go ahead and bring a championship home. We ain't had one since like 96, and we got to bring one home. 20-year anniversary. We need to bring one home this time, man.
All right, JT. Now you realize, of course, nobody escapes without giving the patented Ronbo yell. So I know you're ready. On my count, 3, 2, 1.
Niners! Yes. I've been practicing.
Sounds like it. Thanks, Niner fam. Patrick the Viking, JTJ. Well, it's going to get kind of quiet between now and draft day, as pretty much Trent can't sign any free agents until after mid-May because it will affect the compensatory picks in the draft. That's okay, though, because you know there's going to be other activity And I'll be out looking for you all week long again. Well, actually, all week long anyway. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll be looking to find you between now and next week. Count me out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have our sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.